If a woman greets you like this, she thinks you're a very good-looking older man. You might not notice it immediately, because on the surface, it's just a simple hi. But something's off, or rather something's different. The tone changes. The pace slows. There's intentionality in her voice, like her words are wrapped in softness you weren't expecting. You smile back politely, but you miss what just happened. She didn't greet a man, she greeted a vibe. That's where most men go blind. They think attraction always comes through direct compliments, like you look handsome. But women don't speak that way, not when they're truly drawn to someone. Women don't compliment with their words. They signal admiration through tone, posture, timing, and presence. So when a woman greets you like this, with warmth, softness, and deliberate ease, she's already made up her mind. You're the attractive older man in the room. And the crazy part, you're the last one to realize what she really saw. Sign 1. Eye contact that lingers means everything. Let me ask you something. Have you ever walked into a room and caught a woman holding your gaze just a beat longer than normal? Not a glance, not a polite smile. I'm talking about that slow, almost curious stare that doesn't flinch when you catch it. That's not random. That's not nothing. That's the spark before the flame. Here's what most men miss. When a woman finds you attractive, especially as an older man, she doesn't always show it with words. She shows it through presence, through subtle, deliberate cues. And eye contact? That's her loudest silent signal. It's where everything begins. Think about this. In a world where women are bombarded with noise, DMs, likes, stares, they become experts in controlling how they express interest. So when she holds your gaze and doesn't immediately look away, she's giving you a test. Not the kind with multiple choice. Answers the kind where your response is who you are. And this is where Stoicism enters the picture. A Stoic man is unmoved by the chaos around him. He doesn't chase, he doesn't react, he observes. So when her eyes meet yours, a Stoic man doesn't shrink, he doesn't rush. He stays grounded, like a mountain in the storm, and she feels that. That presence, that stillness, it's what separates you from the guys who either break eye contact too quickly out of fear or overcompensate with forced bravado. The first looks insecure, the second looks desperate. Both fail the test. The correct move? You hold her gazanot like you're trying to prove something, but like you're simply there, aware, unshaken. Not looking to her for validation, just meeting her energy with your own. You don't speak first, you don't fidget, you let the silence speak for you. That's power. You see, older men have something younger guys often lack. Depth. Not just in years, but in presence. You've been through storms, you've taken hits, and if you've done the work, you've learned not to flinch. That stillness, that's what pulls her in. That's what makes her wonder, who is this man? Let me be clear. A younger woman may not fully understand why she's drawn to that calm energy, but her subconscious recognizes it. It signals safety, control, sexual polarity. She's used to boys chasing her. But a man who doesn't chase, that's intriguing, that's rare. And it all begins with a look. Let's make this practical. Next time you're in that moment, whether it's at a bar, a cafe, a gym, don't rush. Don't break eye contact like a teenager caught cheating on a test. And don't overplay it with a creepy stare. Just hold it. Relax. Let the moment breathe. Let her come to you emotionally before you come to her physically. Because the truth is, attraction isn't created through effort. It's revealed through energy. She needs to feel something in your certainty, calm, edge. That emotional spike starts with the eyes, not the mouth. Now here's something subtle most men never think about. When you match her eye contact with quiet confidence, you're actually communicating something primal. You're saying, I see you. I'm not afraid of you. And I don't need anything from you. That flips a switch inside her. She might look away, she might smile, but she'll remember, she'll feel it. Stoicism teaches us to remain composed in the face of external stimulus. Attraction is no different. Her gaze is an external signal. Your internal response is where the real game begins. Stay present, stay poised. Let her feel that you're not moved by her beauty. You're grounded in your value. And here's the kicker sometimes. The less you say, the more she feels. That's the paradox. You don't need to impress her. You need to affect her. And lingering eye contact, that's your first shot. All right, now it's your turn to step into this moment. Type it in the comments to claim your energy. I hold her gaze. And don't go anywhere just yet. What's coming up next will shift the entire way you move from subtle signals to bold responses. Stay locked in. It only gets better from here. Sign 2. Her voice tone drops, slightly soft, calm, almost flirtatious. You ask her something simple. Hey, how's your day going? And her answer, it doesn't just come back with words, it comes back with texture. Her voice, lower, softer, slower, almost like she's adjusting her entire tone just for you. That shift in vocal tone, it's not shyness, it's not coincidence, it's deliberate. Most men brush right past it, thinking, oh, she's just a soft talker. Or worse, they don't notice it at all, but science says otherwise. According to the Journal of Nonverbal Behavior, women instinctively lower their voice when talking to someone they find attractive. It's subconscious, but it's real. Why? Because a lowered tone is inviting. It creates intimacy. It signals comfort and interest without saying anything explicit. But, and this is critical, don't confuse this softness with mumbled small talk. This isn't filler conversation. This is feminine energy adjusting itself to meet your masculine presence. It's how she draws the room closer without moving her feet. Imagine this scene. You're standing in line at a coffee shop. She greets the barista, upbeat, bubbly. But when she turns to you, her voice suddenly drops a notch. Like she's adjusting the volume of the moment just for your ears. That contrast, that's your signal. So what should you do? Don't respond by raising your own voice. Don't crack a loud joke to keep it light. Instead, in-ground your tone. Match the warmth. Match the energy. Speak low. Speak steady. Speak as if the moment matters. That kind of vocal exchange doesn't just build attraction. It builds trust. Caution. Not every soft voice done flirting. But if it's paired with eye contact, a smile, or lingering presence, it's not small talk, it's a signal. Number 3, the smile that touches her eyes is real. You've seen it before, maybe you didn't even realize it at the time, but something in you felt it. A woman smiles at you, and for a split second, her whole face lights up, her eyes soften, her cheeks lift naturally. It's not the polite smile. It's not the customer service smile. It's not forced. It's real. That kind of smile, that's instinctual. It slips through the cracks of her social conditioning. And when it happens, it's because something inside her is responding to you, not your words, not your money, not your car, you. Here's what most men don't get. Attraction isn't always loud. It's not always obvious. Sometimes it's subtle, quiet, even but powerful. A real smile that reaches her eyes is a reflection of emotional safety, comfort, and curiosity. And for an older man, that's everything. Because with age comes presence, calm energy, stillness. And women, especially younger women, respond to that in ways they don't even consciously understand. A younger guy might bring excitement, but an older man who knows himself, he brings security without stiffness. He brings attention without need. And that makes her body relax, her voice soften, and her smile real. In fact, psychology backs this up. According to research on micro-expressions, a Duchenne smile, The one where the muscles around the eyes contract is nearly impossible to fake. It's hardwired. That kind of smile shows up when dopamine is firing and she's feeling emotionally open, maybe even a little exposed. Now, you're not just some guy she's being polite to. You're the guy who made her feel something she didn't expect. That kind of impact, you can't force it. But you can learn to recognize it. And once you do, you'll never unsee it again. So next time you notice her smile doesn't just reach her mouth, pay attention. You're probably not just part of her day. You are the highlight of it. Drop it in the comments right now. I notice everything. And listen, if that part already opened your eyes, what's coming next will flip your perspective completely. Stick with me. See you in the next section. Number 4. If she says your name, she's already curious. Let's slow things down for a second, because this one often slips under the radar. You're having a casual conversation with a woman, could be someone new, someone familiar, and suddenly she drops your name into the sentence. That's funny, David. Or, you really think so, Mark? Now pause. Did you catch it? That little detail right there means a lot more than most guys realize. See, when a woman uses your name, especially early on, it's never just about addressing you. It's about connecting. She's creating a bridge. She's emotionally testing the sound of you. Saying your name is her way of pulling you into her orbit, subtly, smoothly, almost instinctively. Women don't waste energy when they're indifferent. They don't personalize conversations with guys they find forgettable. So when she says your name once, maybe twice, even when she doesn't need to, that's your green light. That's the signal that curiosity has sparked. She's not just responding to you, she's registering you. Now let's take it deeper. Psychologically speaking, the act of saying someone's name during conversation increases oxytocin, the bonding hormone. It's why salespeople are trained to use your name often. It builds familiarity. But here's the twist. When a woman uses your name unconsciously, it's not sales, it's desire. It's emotional, it's intimate, it's layered. She might not even realize she's doing it, but that's exactly why it matters. It's not calculated, it's felt. Let me give you a real-life example. You're chatting at a party. She's been talking to a few people before you. With them, it's all generic. But with you? So, Ethan, what do you think? Boom. She dropped your name, mid-sentence. Not once, not twice, maybe 3 times. That's not accidental. That's her subconscious inviting closeness. And if you're a man grounded in Stoic energy, you won't respond with boyish excitement. You won't lean in too fast or start thinking you've already won. You'll recognize the moment, smile internally, and hold your frame. That's key, because her curiosity is a spark, but it's your response that determines if it becomes attraction. Now here's where most men go wrong. They over-respond. They get too eager. They treat her attention like a gift that must be reciprocated with fireworks. But no, when she says your name, she's not asking you to jump. She's asking you to hold still and let her come closer. That's where you flip the script. Instead of rushing in, you play it cool. You acknowledge it, subtly. Maybe you say her name once in return, with a slow smile and confident tone. You let her feel that you notice, but you're not desperate for it. That's masculine restraint. That's Stoic charm. That's the art of letting her chase her own curiosity. And don't underestimate how powerful that is for an older man. Your name, to her, carries weight. It represents maturity, stability, edge. So when she repeats it, she's testing how it feels to be around your presence, your identity, your energy. Even more interesting? Some women use your name when they want your attention, not aggressively, but intentionally. It's like her way of reeling you back in, especially if you're not giving her the full focus she secretly craves. That's when it shows up in that soft but deliberate tone. John? As if to say, are you really here with me? You want to stand out? Don't just hear it. Feel it. Now, Let's close this with a truth bomb. Names are powerful tools in female psychology. When a woman uses yours, it's a way of saying, you matter in this moment. You're no longer just some guy. You're you. And she's already begun to associate that identity with emotion. So the next time you hear your name slip from her lips in a conversation, slow down, smile inside. Stay composed. That name drop is more than words, it's a whisper of attraction. It's a breadcrumb trail that says, keep walking, I want to be followed. Let's make it real. Drop this in the comments to lock it in. I notice when she says my name. And if you think this was good, just wait. What you'll see next goes even deeper into signals most men miss, but the rare few use to create serious magnetic energy. Stick around, you won't want to miss it. Number 5. Hi becomes a compliment when she wants you to notice. You know what most men miss? The simplicity of a hi. That one word, soft, casual, even lazy to some, can carry a storm of intention when it's coming from a woman who wants you to notice her. And if you're not paying attention, you'll brush it off like any generic greeting. Big mistake. Let me walk you through this. When a woman finds you attractive, especially if you're a more experienced, composed man, her greeting isn't just a routine hello. It's a pulse check. It's her way of saying, I see you. I hope you see me too. And if you're tuned in, you'll notice everything changes in how she says it. Her tone shifts. Her eyes hold yours a little longer. There's that slight curl in the corner of her lips. It's a vibe. She's not just saying hi. She's complimenting your presence without ever needing to say a word like handsome, attractive, or interesting. Because real attraction doesn't always announce itself loudly. Sometimes it whispers. And when a woman greets you with intention, that whisper is loud if you know how to listen. Here's a real-world example. You're walking into your favorite cafe. A woman you've seen maybe once or twice looks up from her laptop, meets your eyes for half a second longer than usual, and says, hi. Just that. But it lingers. Her body slightly turns toward you. Her energy opens. That's not hello. That's you walked into the room and it mattered. Now, let's flip it. If a woman doesn't care, her hi is quick, flat, transactional. She's not aiming to make it memorable. But when she wants you to notice, her greeting turns into an invitation. It's emotionally open, it's got warmth, and sometimes it's nervous, but even that is part of the signal. She's not flirting yet, but she could be, depending on how you respond. This is where Stoic psychology comes in. A grounded man doesn't overreact. He doesn't get giddy like a boy. He recognizes that Momentha meets her with calm, strong presence. He might give a simple, hey, with subtle eye contact. No performance, no over-eagerness. Just being there, fully, confident, centered. Because here's the paradox. When you respond with calm energy, her interest builds. If you chase it, it evaporates. Women, especially women who are used to attention, aren't impressed by reaction. They're magnetized by composure. So, if she gives you that inviting hi, and you show her you're not thrown off by it, that you noticed but didn't need to chase it, you've already separated yourself from 95% of men out there. Now let's add some nuance. Sometimes, that hi doesn't even need words. It could be a smile, a nod, a shift in posture. But when paired with intentional eye contact and body language, it becomes a greeting, a wave without lifting her hand, a hello that says, you've got my attention. And let's be clear, this isn't just about bars and coffee shops. This shows up at work, at the gym, in places where professional distance masks emotional signals. So your job isn't to flirt recklessly, it's to recognize subtlety, to feel out the space she's opening without rushing into it. This is where the game changes for older, stoic-minded men. Your value isn't in flash, it's in gravity, in how you hold yourself, in how you respond. And when she offers you that simple hi, She's testing whether you see the layer beneath the surface, because if you do, you unlock everything. So next time it happens, here's your move. Acknowledge, don't react. Smile slightly, not to impress but because you understand. You're not flattered. You're aware. You're not needy. You're present. And that presence, that's the real compliment. Now tell me in the comments. I recognize real energy. Drop it below to remind yourself and every guy reading that you see through the noise. Stick around. What's coming next will flip your understanding of attraction even more. And no, it's not something you can learn in a dating app bio. Number 6. She fixes herself before seeing you. Let's be real. Women don't accidentally look good before bumping into you. That lip gloss, that casual yet perfect hair twist, the shirt that just happens to hug her curves in all the right places, that's not random. It's calculated. If a woman takes time to fix herself before seeing you, especially if she adjusts her appearance in front of you, that's a signal, a strong one. She wants to be seen, and not by the world, by you. You might be thinking, what's the big deal? Maybe she just wanted to look good for herself. Sure, that's possible, but don't ignore context. When a woman subconsciously or deliberately fixes her hair, touches her neck, adjusts her blouse, or checks her reflection right before or during an interaction with you, that's not just maintenance. That's message sending. It's the non-verbal way of saying, I care about how you see me. This is where the Stoic man sees deeper. Most men miss these details. They're caught up in what she says and ignore what she does. But a man who understands female psychology knows her body speaks louder than her words. Here's a practical example. Let's say you walk into a room and she's sitting with friends. The moment she spots you, she straightens her posture. She might fluff her hair, cross and uncross her legs, glance down at her phone and then look back up at you. These aren't nervous tics. These are micro adjustments to enhance her presence in your eyes. And even more subtle, if she excuses herself to the restroom shortly after you arrive, comes back with a subtle scent on, glossier lips, or freshened makeup. Game on. That wasn't about hygiene. That was about impact. Women are incredibly intuitive. They know the power of appearance, but they don't enhance it for everyone. If she's doing it around you, it means you matter. Now, let's break it down through the lens of Stoicism. The Stoic man doesn't get cocky when he notices these signals. He doesn't take it as an invitation to instantly pursue. Instead, he lets it land. He observes. He acknowledges internally, but remains unmoved emotionally. Why? Because the moment you react like a boy gushing, complimenting too soon, letting ego drive the interaction, you lose the tension. You break the unspoken energy she was building. Instead, the Stoic response is composure. You see it, you register it, you stay centered. Maybe you match her energy with a calm compliment after she's tried 3 times to grab your attention. Maybe you don't say a word, but you let your eyes linger for a second longer than usual. Enough for her to feel seen, but not consumed. That balance? That's power. Here's the twist. The more calm and centered you remain when she's adjusting herself for you, the more she leans in. Why? Because you're not giving her the easy validation she's used to. You're making her earn your attention, not in a manipulative way, but because you have standards. You're grounded in who you are. You're not hypnotized by beauty. You're aligned with value. That's attractive, deeply attractive. It flips the dynamic. Instead of chasing her, she starts wondering, why hasn't he said anything yet? Did he notice my hair, my lips, my dress? You live rent-free in her head because you didn't feed her instant gratification. You observed, you appreciated, but you held your frame. And look, don't get it twisted. This isn't about being cold or detached. It's about presence. You can absolutely admire her effort, but admiration from a grounded man hits different. It's rare. It's real, and she'll feel it even if you don't say a thing. So next time you catch her adjusting herself before seeing you, Don't just stare at the surface. See the signal. And remember, women don't beautify themselves for men they're indifferent to. They do it for men who stand out. Your move. Drop a comment that reminds her and yourself you're dialed in. Say, I see subtle signals. And if you've made it this far, trust me, you're exactly where you need to be. Stick around. What's next will make everything she's doing suddenly make a lot more sense. Number 7. If she stays after hello, she's hooked. Let's keep it real. Hi is easy. Anyone can say hello. A woman can greet a stranger, a co-worker, a waiter, a neighbor. But what happens after the hello? That's what you pay attention to. If she greets you, lingers, and sticks around even though there's no reason, Tosh is not just being polite. That's not friendliness. That's curiosity. That's attraction, bubbling just beneath the surface. Here's the Stoic truth. Interest is always revealed in presence. If she says hello and walks away, that's neutral. It's casual. But if she says hello and then stays in your space, even hesitating for just a few extra seconds, she's sending a silent message. I'm open. And it doesn't matter where it happens. You could be at the gym, in a cafe, in a store, at work. If she initiates small talk or lingers after the initial interaction, you're on her radar. If she asks follow-up questions, if she laughs too long at your jokes, if she brings up random topics to keep the conversation alive, that's not just chatter, that's investment. Remember, women are selective with their time. They don't spend energy on men they're indifferent to. When she stays, especially when she doesn't have to, that's your cue. But here's where most guys mess up. They jump too fast. She gives a little attention, and boom, the guy overcommits. Suddenly he's oversharing, over-texting, over-analyzing. He takes her presence as permission to chase, and that kills the spark. The Stoic man doesn't fall for that trap. When she stays after hello, you acknowledge it, but you don't cling to it. You hold your frame. You keep the conversation smooth, natural, and anchored. You don't rush to impress. You don't fumble to entertain. You remain centered. You treat her attention as a bonus, not a lifeline. And here's the nuance. Presence doesn't always mean words. Maybe she's just hanging around, doing nothing, but not leaving. Maybe she finds reasons to stay close, asks if you've tried the coffee, comments on the music, or gives you that I'm pretending not to care, but I totally care energy. It's all signal. And the better you get at reading these quiet clues, the less confused you'll be in dating. Let me give you a real example. Let's say you're at a bookstore, you're browsing, and she walks up, says something random like, that author's amazing, then doesn't leave. She lingers, even though she has nothing else to say. Maybe she picks up a book and flips through it while occasionally glancing at you. That's not an accident. She's giving you space to lead. And in that moment, you don't need a pickup line. You don't need to try hard. You just need to read the energy and respond with presence. You say, you like thrillers? Or first time reading him? Something simple, grounded, unrushed. Why? Because a woman staying after hello is like a door slightly ajar. If you kick it down, she's gone. But if you step through it with calm confidence, you move the interaction into something more. Now let's bring in a Stoic lens. A Stoic man isn't seduced by attention. He sees it, he respects it, but he doesn't need it. That's exactly why women feel safe being around him. There's no pressure, no chasing, just presence. When she stays, he doesn't inflate. He doesn't over-identify with the moment. He just holds his ground and lets her curiosity unfold. That kind of stability, it's magnetic. Because here's the truth. Women are drawn to emotional gravity. If your energy pulls her in and gives her calm, not chaos, she'll want to stay. And here's the kicker. If she stays once and you handle it well, she'll stay longer next time, then longer after that. Until eventually, you're not wondering if she's interested, you know. Now it's your turn. Drop a comment to ground this truth into your identity. I hold presence. And if you're starting to feel like you're seeing behind the curtain, good. Stick with me. What's coming next will flip how you think about female attraction and why some men never have to chase. Number 8. She mirrors you because she feels you. You ever notice how sometimes, when you're talking to a woman, she starts copying your movements? You lean back, she leans back. You cross your arms, she crosses hers. You tilt your head, her body shifts in sync. That's not a coincidence. That's mirroring. And it's one of the clearest, most instinctive signs of connection, especially when it happens unconsciously. See, when a woman starts mirroring you, she's not just imitating, she's feeling you. This goes deeper than attraction, it's primal. It's her nervous system syncing up with yours. It's non-verbal communication saying, I feel safe with you, or even, I want to be in rhythm with you. It's the subconscious whispering, I'm drawn in. Here's the key though, you can't force this. Mirroring only happens when your energy is steady, calm, and grounded. When you're not trying to impress her, not performing, not overcompensating, but when you're fully present, that's when the mirroring kicks in. Not because you said the perfect thing, but because she feels the vibe. In Stoic terms, you've stopped needing anything from her, and that, ironically, is what makes her come closer. Let's get specific. You're in a cafe just talking. You're leaning forward slightly, speaking low and slow. A few minutes in, she leans forward too. Not exaggerated, not planned, just natural. You reach for your cup, and moments later, she does the same. That's her body telling you what her mouth won't. She's tuned in. Or maybe you're walking side by side. Same pace, same posture, same laugh rhythm. The symmetry between you isn't staged. It's happening because you've created comfort and chemistry without touching her. And here's where most guys mess up, they don't notice it. Or worse, they try to mirror her first to build rapport. Nah, you don't chase the mirror, you become the mirror. What does that mean? It means you lead the energy and let her follow. You hold your frame. You control your breath. You speak clearly and move with intention. You don't shrink in her presence, you expand inward. That calm self-control creates an energetic pull that makes her want to reflect it. It's basic human psychology. People mirror those they're emotionally connected to or attracted to. And women, especially emotionally intuitive, ones will do this more than they even realize. Now here's something deeper. The more she mirrors you, the more she starts to feel like she knows you. Familiarity is emotional currency. It makes her feel close, even if you've just met. Her body is trying to match your pace, your tone, your rhythm. And that process, that's how trust starts forming. Quietly, naturally, it's almost like a dance. The Stoic man understands this. He doesn't rush the rhythm. He lets the music play and leads without words. He lets her come into sync with his energy, not out of dominance, but out of quiet confidence. So the next time you're around a woman, pay attention. Is she laughing when you laugh? Is she adjusting her posture as yours changes? Is she matching your energy level, getting calm when you're calm, or playful when you joke? That's not random. That's emotional alignment in real time. Don't jump in too fast. Don't break the tension. Just observe. Smile inwardly. You've already done the hard part. You've inspired her body to respond to your energy. Now let's lock this in. Drop a comment below. I lead the rhythm, and stick with me. Because the signs get clearer, the signals get stronger, and the next insight might just change the way you experience attraction forever. Number 9. Her touch is accidental on purpose. Let's not play games here. When a woman accidentally brushes your arm, touches your chest during a laugh, or her hand lingers just a second longer than needed, it's not by chance. It's calculated, softly, subconsciously. But yes, it's deliberate. See, when a woman finds you attractive, especially as an older man, someone who holds composure, calm, and grounded masculine energy, she tests the waters with touch. Not a full-on grab, not a bold move, just enough to spark a jolt of chemistry, without taking responsibility for it. It's playful. It's plausible deniability. Oops, didn't mean to touch your arm like that. But her body told a different story. Now here's what you need to know. This kind of touch is one of the oldest female signals of attraction. It's her way of saying, I see you, without putting her vulnerability on the line. Remember, women are intuitive. Their touch is often a bridge between emotional comfort and physical interest. So when she reaches across you to grab her drink, when she lightly taps your hand while telling a story, when she accidentally brushes against your leg under the table, that's not chaos. That's choreography. And here's where the average man stumbles. He overreacts. He gets too eager, jumps to conclusions, starts forcing things, starts touching back like it's a green light to escalate. Big mistake, because the first touch isn't an invitation, it's a test. She wants to feel your energy in that moment. Will you stay calm? Will you act like it's normal, like this happens to you all the time? Or will you lose your cool and break the vibe? The Stoic man, he smiles inwardly, holds his frame. He lets her touch be the message it was meant to be, flirtation, not permission. Because he knows, control creates contrast. When you don't immediately react, she leans in more. Why? Because she didn't just want to touch you, she wanted you to notice it and still stay composed. That balance between awareness and restraint is what drives women crazy. It creates a magnetic tension that's far more powerful than any pickup line or compliment. Let me paint the picture. You're standing at a party. She's laughing, talking close. Her hand grazes your chest while she tells a joke. You feel it. You know it wasn't necessary for the punchline, but you don't flinch. You hold eye contact, smile, let the moment sit. That silence, that pause, that's power. Or you're walking side by side. Her arm brushes yours, once, twice. Her purse accidentally hits your leg. You don't jump to move. You don't apologize. You just keep walking, steady. That tells her everything she needs to know. Women touch what they desire, but they do it in a way that lets you take the lead. They create the opening and your reaction tells her whether or not you're worth chasing. So next time she touches you, ask yourself, is it really an accident? Or is it her subconscious saying, I want you to feel this? More often than not, it's the latter. Let's stamp it in. Dropa comment. I hold my frame. And don't go anywhere. Because what comes next takes all these subtle signals and flips the dynamic entirely in your favor. Number 10. Her energy shifts around you. Watch closely. There's a language women speak that isn't verbal. It's not in what they say, but in what they become the moment you walk into the room. Watch her closely. Did her posture change? Did her voice soften just a bit? Did she suddenly become more playful or a little more reserved? These aren't coincidences. Their energy shifts and they're incredibly revealing. When a woman finds you attractive, especially an older man who carries himself with quiet power, her body reacts first. Then her mind scrambles to catch up. You won't always hear it in words, but her presence will change around you. And if you're not paying attention, you'll miss it. Let's break this down. You walk into a room. She was loud a moment ago, laughing with friends, but now she adjusts her hair, crosses and uncrosses her legs. Suddenly, her attention's fragmented. She's aware of you, even if she doesn't make eye contact yet. Or maybe she starts talking faster, smiling more, not necessarily to you, but because of you. That's key. Her energy is now tuned to your frequency, and she doesn't even realize it. In Stoic psychology, this moment is described as perception without possession, where someone becomes influenced by your presence without a direct exchange. That's real power. Not forced, not loud, but felt. A silent shift in gravity. And here's the truth. Women feel energy before logic kicks in. She may not even know why she suddenly got nervous or giddy, but you can read it if you're grounded enough. What does this mean for you? It means stop chasing signals and start observing reactions. You don't need to impress her, you just need to hold your frame long enough to watch hers start to crack. The average man misses these signs because he's too busy talking, trying, proving. But the man who understands attraction isn't something you beg for, he just observes. He sees the change in how she sits, how she fidgets, how she suddenly needs to grab something right when you're around. This is especially true for women who are emotionally mature. They won't flirt like a teenager. They'll show you through energy, through vibe, through subtle shifts in behavior. So the next time you're near a woman and wonder if she's into you, ask yourself, did anything shift? If she was calm but now she's jittery, if she was cool but now she's overly polite, if she was distracted but now tuned in, then she noticed you, maybe even wants you. She's just waiting to see if you're strong enough to notice without losing composure. And that's your move. Notice without reacting. When you learn to read her energy, you start speaking the language most men never will. You become rare. You become magnetic, not because of what you say, but because of how you see. You feel this? Prove it. Drop a comment. I read energy. And if this resonated with you, don't blink, because what we cover next will flip the way you view connection, confidence, and control. And there it is. If you've been paying attention, you now see what 95% of men miss every single day. It's not about pickup lines. It's not about chasing validation. It's about understanding presence, energy, and the subtle signs that speak louder than words. If you're tired of being confused by mixed signals and ready to become the kind of man women naturally respond to, then don't just watch. Become. Hit subscribe to stay one step ahead. This isn't just content. This is your edge. And if you're serious about sharpening that edge, join the Stoic Brotherhood, our private member community, where we go deeper, train smarter, and build something no woman can ignore. Inner strength. See you tomorrow.